Hey guys, it's Chase here from Chasing Thrills. We are here at the Six Flags Over Georgia opening day for the 2023 season because it is finally the end of the off season. I have not been here since I think it was around October for Fright Fest, so I have not ridden most of these rides for a very long time. So I'm very excited to finally be able to get back and ride some of these amazing rides since it's been, I don't know, maybe like 6 months since 7 months, 8 months since I've ridden most of these rides. So very happy to be back here on the opening day for the 2023 season because it has been winter and it's been kind of cold. This winter has actually been really warm. Even Fun Spot's actually been open all year. So hopefully we start seeing year-round ops at this park. So then we don't have to worry about the off-season now happening at this park since Fun Spot's already doing it, Carowinds is doing it, so hopefully this park will jump on to that train soon, within the next maybe couple of years. So today we're gonna do I'm gonna film a construction update of the new Kid Flash Cosmic Coaster. So that construction update should already be up, posted by now. So hopefully you can go look at that. I'll put the link in the description. But yeah, so we're just gonna go in the park, notice some changes. In fact, I've already noticed some changes for the 2023 season, including electric vehicle charging in the parking lot. I haven't noticed it until this season, so I think that might be new. But let's go see what else is new in the park. And yeah, so let's go have a fun day here at Six Flags Over Georgia opening day. Alright, we rode Georgia Scorcher and we rode Twisted Cyclone. Both of those rides were some of the best rides I've ever had on both of those rides. Georgia Scorcher had great airtime, and Twisted Cyclone, I don't know, I'll show you some pictures of the new train that they got. It is a replacement of the black train. It is black and blue. It looks amazing and it rides. That is one of the best rides I've ever had on it. It was absolutely insane. So both of those rides were amazing. However, this experience today has not. First of all, the operations have been 5 minutes, averaging absolutely some of the worst operations I've seen here that I've ever been, and it's just been really disappointing. So customer service has also been pretty hard. I got the top tier season pass, so we're still trying to get our bottle after going to 2 different places because they sell them, but they only sell them for a certain member. It was like the legacy members that they only sell them for, not for the new ones. So then, yeah, and then the locker system, we could have went on Twisted Cyclone. We got in line or whatever, and there was no line, right? And the lady at the front, she said that you have to get a locker because of my backpack, right? So we go get a locker, and we keep on swiping the card, but it won't work, the locker. So they quadruple charged us, and it never worked. So then we had to go to guest services, wait forever for that. Then we had to go, so then they gave us a refund for those 4 times. Then we got the locker. So now, yes, we have to get a locker for some rides. So it's like Great Adventure now, where at like some rides, you have the locker, where at other rides, you don't. So like, for example, Georgia Scorcher didn't, but Twisted Cyclone did. So yeah, that's really annoying. But now we'll probably go get on a ride on Daredevil Dive, and then we will go and ride or go look at the Kid Flash Cosmic Coaster construction update, which I said is already on YouTube now. So if you want to go check that out, I'll put the link in the description. All right, never mind, we're not doing Daredevil Dive because the line's too long. Also, as you can see behind me, Goliath is closed. Yeah, on opening day. Yeah, operations have been terrible. Goliath is closed now. Yeah. We've been here for like an hour and a half. We've ridden 2 things now. Could have ridden more, but the lockers, yeah. right, we just rode Batman the Ride. Insane roller coaster. That was one of the best rides I've ever had on that ride. It absolutely flew through all the inversions. We rode in the very front row. One issue that I did have was not with the ride itself, but the flash pass system that they had. How basically it was one of those rides where you go, the flash passes through the exit lane. So it was a little annoying when they kept stealing. We were in the front row, so it's one of the more desirable rows. So they kept taking the front row. But it's really annoying because if they just keep coming, so they would take like 3 trains in a row where they just take up the row, and then so we wouldn't be able to go. So that really bothers me. I wish there was a way around that. Maybe letting the flash pass go every other train, or the easiest way, just having the flash pass line merge before you get into the station, similar to like Twisted Cyclone, where you don't go through the station. Instead it merges about towards the very end of the line, and then you just go up the stairs, or where they meet in the station at like some other parks do, or even Goliath, where they meet in the station, so you just walk right in onto the station. So that's a little disappointing, but the ride itself was very good, very fast, very well paced. It just flew. One of the more intense rides. Like, I get off dizzy on that ride every time. It's absolutely crazy. One of the most intense rides I've ever ridden, especially at this park. So yeah, that was really fun. Now we're gonna go do Pandemonium, which is another favorite ride of mine here.
You ain't never seen small? Used to put some on right there. Yes. You might never find, bro.
Maybe because it's in your
Okay, we just did Pandemonium. I think that was an amazing ride. One of my favorite. It's probably actually is my favorite flat ride here. I have not done Acrophobia because it's always been closed whenever I come, but I'm sure Pandemonium will still probably beat it, or it will be really close. I will say, now that I've ridden it a few times, it's kind of getting like kind of old a little bit. Like, those top swings will always be crazy. Like, you're basically almost completely upside down. You feel a lot more upside down than you actually are, but it's actually crazy, especially when you're looking back. And at one point on one of those swings, when you're looking back and you time just perfectly, you're looking upside down at the skyline of the city of Atlanta, which is an absolutely crazy just feeling. It's absolutely crazy of a ride. It's a little not super intense. I feel like the first ride will always be crazy, whereas the last of them, it kind of slows down. But Pandemonium overall is still just an amazing ride. Highly recommend it. And Gasm is closed. Can you see that train? Just in there in the station all alone. And then there's another one over on the lift hill. That makes it, this and Goliath both closed today. It's kind of a bummer. I kind of wanted to ride it. Superman Ultimate Flight. Wow. I've always been one to find pretzel loops, like the one behind me, a little bit overrated. I always thought that they were maybe a little not as intense maybe as a lot of people make it out to be. I always found them to be like, they were fun, I loved them, but it was still like, they weren't like as super intense. Even Tatsu, riding Tatsu, which was the last flying coaster I've ridden until today, I would have still said it's a little overrated. Obviously, it was still super intense, but it was not like the most intense thing I've ever experienced. That right there was the most intense pretzel loop I've ever experienced. It was more intense. I wouldn't say way more. It was more intense than the one on Tatsu, but how you got yanked down that pretzel loop when we sat in the back. We sat on the back on Tatsu too, and I sat on the back on Manta at Tatsu and this too. All three great pretzel loops, but wow, that was just a completely different level. The rest of the ride's fun, but that pretzel loop right there was the craziest pretzel loop I have experienced yet. And for anyone who is wondering, there's still no work done on Splashwater Falls. It is still removed there. They still left it here. I think a lot of people thought maybe the kiddie coaster would be going there, but nope, it is still just remains of a water ride. Kind of sad. I never got to ride it. In fact, I never even got to see it. My first visit here was in 2019 after it had closed. So it's kind of sad. Hopefully something new comes for soon. I don't think a coaster necessarily could fit there, maybe, but I think that might be a new, maybe expansion to the kid area over there. Oh, and also something I think is funny that it's still about Splashwater Falls is if you look down there, you can still see the ride sign, with all the safety information for Splashwater Falls. That's actually kind of crazy. It's been like, what, 6 years it's been gone, and it's still, they left, it's still there, which is kind of crazy. Come on, Six Flags, come on, replace it already. All right, and after one more crazy ride on Twisted Cyclone, I think that ride is underrated. It got a new train, and so it's riding even faster, and it's actually like probably around 70 degrees right now. It is running absolutely insane. I think that if Air Force One wants to become the best coaster in Georgia, Twisted Cyclone has a fight. It will fight, because that ride actually is probably pretty close to what my expectations are for Air Force One. Meaning that Air Force One basically have to exceed my expectations for it to become better than Twisted Cyclone for me, because that ride just keeps growing on me. It is a crazy experience, and I definitely highly recommend that ride, and definitely better than Twisted Colossus. I don't really understand why that ride gets so much love sometimes, but yeah, Twisted Cyclone, it just keeps growing on me, and is an absolutely crazy ride. So overall, I think today, for an opening day, there's a lot of kinks to work out. It's the first day of operation, so I think that had to do with some of it. Obviously, some of them are new employees, so I'm sure a lot of them wanted to make a good impression for the first day, which is why they were kind of being a little more strict on the bags and stuff. Give it a month, it'll probably be, you know, there won't be much more of the bag policies like they've always technically said that, but everybody always puts it on the floor. Even when we went back to Twisted Cyclone, we brought it in line. I think that that's not really going to be an issue. So overall, there were some few changes for this 2023 season, including a new train on Twisted Cyclone. The operations, there was really weird. So Batman the Ride had great operations. Twisted Cyclone, the beginning of the day, nah. But then towards later in the day, they were okay. Georgia Scorcher had horrendous operations. It was really bad. Superman Ultimate Flight had really good operations, which is really weird because for a flying coaster, yeah, it was actually pretty impressive. They were maybe stacking for not that long. Like, we sat on the brake run for a while, but we saw some trains. They were going pretty quickly. They weren't rolling, but they were going pretty quick. Batman, they were almost rolling. Really impressive. I was really impressed with some of their operations. Pandemonium, kind of poor, a little slow. But overall, I'd say they were okay. As we got later in the day, I'd say the operations got better. So overall, for an opening day experience, it's not necessarily what I maybe thought it would be. There were definitely some kinks that need to be worked out. Give it a month, I'm sure it'll be a lot better. But overall, I thought today was a really good day. It started off kind of rough, but in the end, I think that today was a really, sorry about that, let me go back, really, really good day. So, with that said, I hope you enjoyed my experience here, my first ever park opening day, Six Flags Over Georgia. This is March 4th, 2023. I hope you enjoyed this little experience that we had today. Please make sure to like this video, comment if you'd like to, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And with that said, please have a thrilling rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.